The United Kingdom may be looking for a new leader. Barely a month into her new job, Prime Minister Liz Truss is in trouble. The economy has tanked, members of a Conservative Party are angry, and the government's approval ratings have dropped. Truss may now be headed for the shortest premiership in post-war British history. So, what happened exactly? Truss took office after defeating Rishi Sunak in a long and bitter battle for the leadership of the ruling Conservative Party. While Truss won, she didn't win big. Her party was divided and she enjoyed less support than previous incoming leaders. Now, Truss inherited some major economic problems. The most important was that Britain's economy is stuck. The UK was once among the most productive countries in the world, and that changed after the global financial crisis in 2008. Since then, the country has struggled with low wages, even lower productivity, and weak growth. Now, this might have been fine if not for Brexit. Europe is the UK's largest economic partner, and since their messy divorce, investment has fallen and so has trade. And then we have the war in Ukraine. Russia has cut energy supplies to Europe, which means that the UK's energy bills are set to double. As a cold winter approaches, households and industries will suffer tremendously. Prime Minister Truss had to do something about this crisis, and that's where things began to go wrong. Britain's current political crisis began when Kwasi Kwarteng, finance minister and a close ally of Truss, unveiled his mini budget. It promised a multi-billion-pound tax cut and removed caps on bonuses for investment bankers. It also wanted to abolish the 45% tax rate on top income earners in the country. If you're Truss and you want to boost growth, cutting taxes does make some sense. Unfortunately, Truss also promised to spend billions of pounds supporting households who can't afford the massive increases in their energy bills. So, the government was effectively giving up billions in revenue through tax cuts and also spending billions in subsidies. Truss argued that the government would borrow the massive amounts of money it needed. Her argument was also that growth over time would help pay off the massive debt the country was taking on. Unfortunately, markets simply did not buy what Truss was selling, and this led to a spectacular meltdown in the British economy. Investors dumped British government bonds, the pound collapsed, and the country's pension funds were almost driven into bankruptcy. The Bank of England stepped in and spent £65 billion to stabilize the situation. Even the International Monetary Fund, which usually picks on developing nations, joined in the fun and slammed the Truss government's economic plans. Truss had to issue a humiliating reversal of government policy. Plans to abolish the 45% tax rate on top earners was junked, and the Prime Minister promised to be more careful with the nation's finances. However, her reputation may already have been destroyed. In the aftermath of this man-made disaster, the ruling Conservative Party's approval rating has fallen sharply. In fact, the opposition Labour Party now leads the Conservatives in the polls by a staggering 24% margin. Truss is part of the problem. In interview after interview with the media, she seemed to have no answers to the tough questions she was being asked. Conservative members of Parliament, who were never major supporters of Truss in the first place, are in open revolt. Even members of the cabinet have criticized the Prime Minister and believe her time may be up. This was on full display during the recent Conservative Party conference. It was an occasion where people were supposed to rally around their leader. Instead, this happened. Even without the protests, Truss has failed to bring her party together. Throughout this, one man has been silent, Rishi Sunak. When he was running against Truss to become Prime Minister, the former British Finance Minister predicted the economic mess that would occur if Truss was elected. There will be a run on sterling. The gilts market will be in free fall. And the FTSE will tumble as global investors take fright and sell off every form of British asset. It might take only a few days, or the government might stagger through till the end of September. He was on the money, and the British public knew it. Interestingly, Sunak stayed away from the recent Conservative Party conference. Truss has failed to deliver, and this might be Sunak's way back to the top. So will Truss be removed as leader of the Conservative Party? The truth is that she is unlikely to be booted out in the immediate future. Some in the ruling party may hope that she can turn things around. After all, the next general elections will only take place in 2024. The party can struggle on until then and hope for the best. Another option is to remove Truss from her position as Prime Minister, and this may appeal to some members of the party. However, the bitter battle between Sunak and Truss has already divided the party and damaged its reputation among the British public. If Truss falls and a new leader is elected so soon, the country may believe that the Conservative Party has lost its way. Sunak himself is not trusted by more conservative opponents within the party. Truss is scrambling to keep her government afloat. This month, she is expected to sign a free trade agreement with India and restore her dented reputation as a competent leader. However, it's far more likely that too much damage has already been done. Truss is weak, and her opponents like Rishi Sunak are looking for a chance to bag the UK's top job. That means more chaos and confusion for Britain.